The Galactic Council put Earth on their danger list 500 years ago. They did this not because of humans, but because of the other animals that lived there. They called Earth a death world. Commander Taiho Kim looked out the big window of the spaceship Earth Pride. This was humanity's first trip to meet the Galactic Council. Taiho was 42 years old. He had some gray in his black hair. People knew him as a good military leader and someone who studied alien life. The spaceship was very big. It had smooth white walls inside. The control room had 10 people working at different stations. Large screens showed stars and the huge space station they were heading toward. "Commander, we're getting a message from the Council," said Officer Jiu Park. Her hands moved quickly over the glowing controls. "Show it on the main screen," Taiho said. He fixed his dark blue uniform and stood up straight. The big screen in the middle lit up. It showed an alien called High Counselor Zixon. This alien was tall with 6 arms. It had shiny scales like a fish and big eyes that looked like they had many small parts inside them. The alien could see in many directions at once. "Commander Kim," said the alien through its translator box, which changed its clicking sounds to human words. "Your ship can dock with our station, but we need you to promise you did not bring any dangerous animals from your planet." Taiho tried not to smile. "I promise we have followed all your rules, High Counselor." "Good," Zixon said, but didn't sound like it believed Taiho. "When you arrive, guards will take you straight to the main meeting room." When the call ended, Jiu turned to Taiho with a small smile. "They have no idea, do they?" "About what?" Taiho acted like he didn't know what she meant. "About what we have in room 3. Taiho kept a serious face, but the corner of his mouth moved a little, showing he was amused. "That, Officer Park, is exactly why we came here. The galaxy needs to learn that humans don't just live on a dangerous world. We rule it." In room 3 of the ship, kept safe but well cared for, was Earth's secret weapon, a full-grown Bengal tiger, named Jeomi. This name meant spider in Korean. Dr. Minji Na, the tiger's keeper, gave it this funny name. Minji stood next to the tiger's cage, checking if it was healthy before their big entrance. The tiger had orange fur with black stripes. Its teeth were as long as human fingers. Its eyes were bright yellow. It could kill most animals with one bite. But around Minji it acted like a big house cat. Outside the ship, space sparkled with countless stars. The Council space station grew larger as they got closer. It looked like a giant wheel spinning slowly. Lights blinked along its many docking arms. "Prepare for docking," called Captain Dowan Lee from his seat. He was older than Taiho, with completely gray hair and a stern face. All crew to landing stations. The crew moved quickly. Some checked computer screens. Others prepared the landing equipment. Taiho walked down to room 3. The hallways were bright and clean. He passed other crew members who nodded respectfully. When he reached room 3, he pressed his hand to the door scanner. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, Minji was sitting cross-legged on the floor. The tiger lay beside her, its huge head resting on her lap. Minji was small, only about half the size of the tiger. Her black hair was tied back in a simple ponytail. She wore a white uniform with the Earth symbol on the shoulder. "Are we there?" she asked without looking up. She was scratching behind the tiger's ear. The big cat was making a deep, happy rumbling sound. "Almost," Taiho said. "The Council has no idea what's coming." Minji smiled. "They think we're just weak creatures who got lucky by developing tools and technology, don't they?" "That's what most alien species think." Taiho nodded. "They believe humans only survived on Earth by hiding from the real predators." The ship shook slightly as it connected to the space station. "They're about to learn something new about humans," Minji said. She gently moved the tiger's head and stood up. The tiger yawned, showing its huge teeth, then got up too. It stretched, its powerful body like a house cat waking from a nap. "Are you ready to show the galaxy what humans can do?" Taiho asked. "Jeomi and I have been practicing for months," Minji said. She touched a small device on her wrist, and the tiger's cage door opened, but the tiger didn't go in. It stayed by her side, calm and relaxed. Taiho's communication device beeped. "The council guard is waiting for us at the main door," he said. "Then let's not keep them waiting." Minji smiled. "Jaomi, heel." The massive tiger fell in step beside her, walking like it belonged there. Taiho led the way out of room 3. As they walked through the ship toward the exit, crew members stopped to watch. Some looked nervous seeing the tiger walking freely, even though they knew about the plan. At the main door, Captain Dowan gave final instructions to the crew who would stay on the ship. When he saw Taiho, Minji, and the tiger approaching, he nodded seriously. "The delegation is ready," Taiho reported. "Remember," Captain Dowan said quietly, "this first meeting will shape how the galaxy sees humans for generations. Make it count." The main door opened with a loud hiss. Beyond it stood 3 alien guards with strange weapons and shocked expressions. The rest of the galaxy was about to learn why humans were truly the most frightening species in the known universe. Not because they were the strongest or had the best technology, but because they alone had the courage, the pure, unbelievable madness to make friends with the deadliest hunters on their planet. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council fell silent as the human delegation entered. Taiho led the group with confidence, followed by Dr. Minji Na and 4 security officers. Representatives from over 300 species watched from their designated platforms, murmuring among themselves. High Counselor Zixin gestured with 3 of his limbs simultaneously. "Commander Kim, welcome to the Galactic Council. We are prepared to hear Earth's petition for membership." Taiho bowed slightly. "Hi, Counselor, esteemed members of the Council. Earth thanks you for this opportunity. Before we begin formal proceedings, we wish to present a cultural demonstration that we believe will help the Council understand humanity's unique perspective in the galaxy." A ripple of unease spread through the chamber. This was not standard protocol. "A demonstration?" Zixin's voice conveyed suspicion. "Yes," Taiho replied calmly. "Dr. Na, if you would." Minji stepped forward, raising a small device in her hand. With a simple tap, the doors behind them parted again. A collective gasp echoed throughout the chamber as Gaomi padded gracefully into the hall, her orange and black coat gleaming under the lights, powerful muscles rippling with each step. The tiger walked peacefully beside Minji, no restraints visible. Several council members scrambled to their feet in panic. "Containment breach!" shouted a security official from a species resembling a humanoid insect. "Predator on the loose!" cried another. Jixin rose to his full height. "Commander Kim, what is the meaning of this? You have introduced an apex predator into the council. Chambers." Minji calmly stroked Gaomi's head, and the massive cat responded by leaning into her touch, a deep rumble of contentment emanating from its chest. "This is Gaomi," Minji explained, her voice amplified through the chamber's acoustic system. "She is a Bengal tiger, one of Earth's most formidable predators. Her species can kill with a single bite, run faster than most humanoids, and has been known to hunt prey 3 times her size." The uproar continued until Taiho raised his hand. "Members of the council, please observe. Dr. Na is not restraining this animal. This is not a trick or technology at work. This is millennia of human dedication to understanding, respecting, and yes, befriending the most dangerous creatures of our world. To demonstrate, Minji led Gaomi through a series of commands, sitting, lying down, offering a massive paw for inspection, and finally, rolling onto her back to expose her vulnerable belly. "Impossible," whispered a delegate from the Vexonian Alliance, a species known for their analytical minds. "That creature should be trying to devour her." "Not impossible," Taiho corrected. "Just human." The emergency session of the council's inner circle had been ongoing for hours. Taiho and Minji sat patiently at the center of the chamber, while Gaomi dozed peacefully at their feet. The initial panic had subsided, replaced by intense scientific curiosity. "Let me understand this correctly," said Counselor Alik, a gaseous being contained within an environmental suit. "Humans have been domesticating predators for over 20,000 years?" "Yes," Minji confirmed. "Beginning with wolves, which evolved into what we now call dogs. But our relationship with predators extends far beyond simple domestication. We've formed partnerships with numerous species that other civilizations would consider too dangerous to approach. Tejo activated a holographic display showing humans throughout history alongside various predators. Falconers with birds of prey on their arms, ancient Egyptian nobles with cheetahs on leashes, modern wildlife conservationists hand-raising lion. Cubs, but why? Asked a crystalline being from the outer rim. What evolutionary advantage does this provide? Initially survival, Tejo explained. Working with predators made hunting more efficient. Later it became about companionship, protection, and eventually conservation. High Counselor Zixin leaned forward. Commander Kim, our preliminary surveys of Earth classified it as a death world due to its extraordinary biodiversity of dangerous species. We assumed humans were simply another prey species that had developed intelligence as a survival mechanism. A common misconception, Tejo smiled. We're not prey that got smart. We're apex predators who decided that instead of competing with other predators, we'd recruit them. But the risk, began another counselor, is managed through understanding, Minji interrupted, running her hand along Gaomi's back. The tiger stretched lazily. We study their behaviors, respect their instincts, and build relationships based on mutual trust, not control. The council. Members exchanged glances, a new understanding dawning. There's something you should know, Tejo said, his tone growing serious. The animals we've brought as our companions are not the most dangerous thing humans have tamed. What could possibly be more concerning than bringing apex predators into diplomatic meetings? Zixin demanded. Tejo's eyes met the High Counselor's compound gaze steadily. Ourselves, Counselor. The most dangerous creature humans have ever domesticated is our own nature. Word of the humans and their tiger spread quickly through the galactic hub. Most species kept their distance, but some were drawn by curiosity. Among them was Ambassador Daol from the warrior race of Catharans, hulking reptilian beings with natural armor and unmatched physical strength. Daol requested a private meeting with the Earth delegation, which was granted in one of the hub's biodomes designed to simulate Earth-like conditions. Tejo sat across from the massive Catharan, while Minji stood nearby with Gaomi exploring the small patch of artificially created woodland. Your demonstration was enlightening, Commander. Daol's voice rumbled, his translator struggling with the guttural tones, but I question its practicality and real danger. Tejo maintained diplomatic composure. What exactly are you suggesting, Ambassador? A test. Daol's scaled lips pulled back to reveal rows of serrated teeth. A Catharan smile. My people value strength above all. If humans truly command the respect of such beasts through more than technological trickery, prove it. Gaomi is not a performer in a circus, Ambassador, Minji interjected, approaching with the tiger at her side. No, Daol agreed. She is a predator. And predators hunt. I've brought something that might interest her. The Catharan reached into a container beside him and pulled out a slab of raw meat, its scent immediately filling the air. Gaomi's ears perked up, and her eyes locked onto the meat. Every muscle in her powerful body tensed. Ambassador, Tejo warned, what you're attempting is dangerously close to diplomatic provocation. Daol ignored him, tossing the meat into the air and letting it land with a wet thud just meters from where they sat. If your control is as profound as you claim, the beast will ignore this perfect meal because you command it. Minji didn't move, didn't call out to Gaomi. Instead, she simply watched as the tiger padded toward the meat, sniffing the air. Daol's expression turned triumphant. As I thought, nature cannot be overwritten so easily. Gaomi reached the meat, lowered her head, and then, to Daol's visible shock, looked back at Minji, waiting. It's up to you, Gaomi, Minji said softly. You can have it if you want. The tiger turned back to the meat, picked it up in her powerful jaws, and carried it, halfway back to Minji before settling down to eat. Daol stood abruptly. That's impossible. The beast should have consumed it immediately. You misunderstand our relationship with animals, Ambassador, Taiho explained, rising to match Dial's stance. We don't control them. We build trust with them. Gaomi checked, with Dr. Na not because she's afraid of punishment, but because they're partners. And the most impressive thing, Minji added, kneeling to stroke Gaomi's head as she ate, is that I didn't train her to do that. She chose to share this moment with me. That's what you don't understand about humans and our animals. It's not about domination. It's about connection. Dial studied them with new eyes. Perhaps, he said finally, the Catharans have something to learn from humans after all. 6 months after Earth officially joined the Galactic Council, the Harmony Station bustled with activity. At its heart was the newly established Human Cultural Center, where daily demonstrations of Earth's relationship with its native species had become the most attended events in the station's history. Inside the center's largest habitat dome, Taiho watched as Minji worked with not just Gaomi, but an expanding menagerie, a pair of falcons, a wolf, and most recently, a young elephant named Hanul. Representatives from dozens of species observed from the viewing area, their reactions ranging from awe to lingering disbelief. Commander Kim, a familiar voice called. Taiho turned to find High Counselor Zixin approaching, accompanied by several delegates he didn't recognize. High Counselor, Taiho bowed. What brings you to our humble exhibit today? These are representatives from the fringe worlds, Zixin explained, gesturing to the unfamiliar beings. They've traveled for weeks after hearing tales of, how did they phrase it? The insane species that befriends monsters. One of the delegates, a being composed of what appeared to be living smoke contained within a translucent membrane, drifted forward. We had to see for ourselves. Our worlds face challenges with indigenous predators. Your methods could save countless lives. Dr. Na would be happy to establish educational programs, Taiho offered, though I should emphasize that our approach requires patience and deep respect for the animals. It's not a quick solution. We understand, the smoke being replied. We are prepared to learn. As if on cue, gasps erupted from the viewing area. Minji had invited a group of children from various species to enter the habitat. Under her careful guidance, each child was given the opportunity to touch Hanul's trunk or toss a training lure for the falcons. A small Vexonian child, no taller than Taiho's knee, stood frozen as Gaomi approached. Rather than intervening, Minji simply monitored as the tiger gently sniffed the child and then lay down nearby. Her posture relaxed and non-threatening. Remarkable, Zixin whispered. In just 6 months, you've changed how the galaxy views predator-prey relationships. That's not all we've changed, Taiho noted. Look there. He pointed to where Ambassador Diol of the Catharans had entered the habitat. Since their first meeting, the warrior race had become unexpected advocates for Earth's conservation philosophies. Now Dal was demonstrating to his own people how to approach Earth's creatures with respect rather than dominance. You know, Taiho said thoughtfully, when humans first looked to the stars, we wondered if we'd find others like us. Instead, we found that our most unique trait isn't our technology or our adaptability. What is it then? Asked the smoke being. Our capacity to form bonds across species barriers, Taiho replied. To look at something that could kill us and see not a threat, but a potential friend. The other races of the galaxy evolved to avoid dangerous creatures. Humans decided to understand them instead. As they watched, Minji led a demonstration with Gaomi, the massive tiger performing a complex series of behaviors that showcased both her natural hunting prowess and her gentle interaction with the children. In ancient Earth mythology, Taiho continued, humans have always told stories about dragon tamers and beastmasters, people with the magical ability to communicate with dangerous creatures. We didn't realize until we met the galactic community that what we considered normal was actually our superpower. Zixin's compound eyes studied the scene thoughtfully. I've lived for 300 years, Commander Kim, and I've never seen anything like what humans do with these predators. It goes against every survival instinct of sentient life. That's precisely why it works, Counselor. Taiho smiled. Sometimes, The most powerful approach isn't to follow instinct, but to transcend it. That's humanity's gift to the galaxy. As if to punctuate his point, Kiyomi patted over and rubbed her massive head against Taiho's side, a rumbling purr emanating from her chest. Several of the Fringe World delegates stepped back instinctively, but their fear was quickly giving way to wonder. The legend of humans, the Death World species insane enough to befriend monsters, was spreading across the stars, and with it, a new understanding of what it meant to coexist with the dangerous beauty of the natural world.